actually spent a week in Palestinian refugee camps here in Lebanon to gather a number of reports for our special coverage of the impact of the '67 war 50 years on. And I can tell you that that war shaped the Palestinians, not just here in Lebanon, but across the region in Syria, in Jordan, and in the occupied Palestinian territories. And we have a guest today to talk about this. With us today is Stephen Salaita, a professor at American University of Beirut and an expert on Palestinian affairs. Thank you so much for joining us, Stephen, today. What was the impact of the '67 war on the Palestinians in the region?
It really increased their sense that they would no longer be able to rely on the Arab states for their liberation. Egypt had been weakened, Syria had been weakened, and so one of the things that they started doing in refugee camps throughout the Arab world is organizing themselves and really taking the matter of their freedom into their own hands. There was a lot of interchange, for example, between the Palestinians in refugee camps here in Lebanon with the people in the West Bank, and a lot of that organizing interchange between the two helped inspire the conditions that would lead to the first Palestinian Intifada.
Which, of course, was around 1987-88. Now, that was a while ago. The war of '67 is officially 50 years old. Where are the Palestinians at today in 2017?
They're still organizing as adamantly as ever for their freedom, but it very often seems to them and to their allies and observers that their issues are something of an afterthought. People are concerned with the conflict in Syria. There's a new conflict that's just arisen between the GCC states, and so very often it seems like Palestine ends up on the back burner. However, the Palestinians themselves throughout this region, and really throughout the world in general where they exist, continue to adamantly organize for their freedom and for the liberation of their homeland.
Indeed. The Middle East today, 50 years after the 1967 war, Andrea, is a different place. There are other concerns, other priorities other than the Palestinian issue, but still the Palestinians, millions of them are living in refugee camps here in Lebanon across the region, and the Palestinians in the West Bank and the occupied territories, West Bank and Gaza, still do not have a state.